If you're a brand new agent, or you just feel like a brand new agent when it comes to a new year, there is no better conversation to be in right now than the conversation with this gal sitting to my left. I have been able to watch her content evolve from a brand new agent just 4.5 years ago-ish to an absolute rock star today, generating a lot of transactions in a marketplace that she was brand new in. Hannah, I am so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you. Stoked to be here.
So I know you two know each other.
Yep.
I have just been fangirling all of your content. We were talking sort of, before we got jumping in here. And by the way, for my friends that are watching, veteran, brand new agent, 30 years in the business, anywhere around the world, what we're going to talk about today is totally relatable.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But at the ripe old age of 24, is that accurate?
Yep.
How many transactions did you do last year?
We did 59 last year.
59 last year. And of course, now you've lived in that area your entire life. You were raised with everyone. Everyone knows you.
No, I moved there 3.5 years ago.
So let's unpack this. You've been a client for how long now?
About 3 years.
Okay. And how did you first get introduced to us or the concept of real estate?
I was career searching my last summer between college years, and your How to Manage Your Money Like a Millionaire video came up.
Yes.
And I watched it, and YouTube serves you more videos.
Yep.
So it served me more of your videos. I watched them, and I was like, I think I can do this.
So at 20, how do you say to yourself, I think I can do this? Did you have any idea what you were getting into, knowing what you know now?
I mean, you never know fully, but
Yes.
your videos were so helpful to like peek behind the curtain and see what it was like. And
Yes.
I was like, if these people can do it, I can do it too.
Right.
You're very motivating.
Yes.
Very.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why, thank you. So unpack. So tell them who you are. Tell them where you're from. Give them that context, which I should have done in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then I want to go right through the journey of the very beginning. What did you do that worked? What do you do that didn't? That got you to this point? Because now half of all your business is coming from YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
So take us back. Like, who are you? Where you're from? Give us context.
So I grew up outside of Seattle, Washington area, and I went to school in Eastern Washington at Pullman, Washington State University.
Yep.
I got a finance degree. I was looking to see what I was going to do with my career, and I just said I've got to do something that doesn't have a ceiling, and so that's why I settled on real estate. I didn't want to go back to my hometown, and so I moved to where my boyfriend grew up, which was Vancouver, Camas, Washington. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yes.
Still very similar to where I grew up in Seattle. It's just a little warmer. Everything's a little closer. I'm closer to the airport. And I literally started from nothing. I knew no one. I hadn't been in a professional career. I had sold no houses. I was 21 years old. I looked a little bit younger. And
Versus now?
yeah, got a couple years on me now. Got a couple gray hairs after, a couple years in
24,
business.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a 24.
We all know how that
Oh,
is.
back in my day.
I literally started from zero, and I set big goals for year one.
Yes.
Because I knew I could do it. And I think my first 12 months, I did like 14 million.
Yes.
My first full calendar year, I did 18 million. And then I did like 21, 22. And then last year, I did about 40 million.
Yes.
Incredible.
And it's just been a fun journey. I try to do old school and new school. So social media, but I also door knock and I open house.
Hold on. You're getting ahead of us
Too
here.
much to share.
So, first of all, congratulations. I mean,
you.
literally before we started, I was like, just how proud I am of you and just watching your journey. And I know you are as well.
I'm
Many
blown away.
many in our ecosystem have got exposed to you through Jason and the ecosystem, et cetera.
Yeah.
Take us back to the very beginning, though. So when you said, okay, I'm launching this career, besides like learning the MLS and understand the contracts and don't get sued and make sure things get done right, how did you begin to announce yourself in a marketplace where you know no one? Like what was, take us back to the very beginning. Like, hey, I want to reintroduce myself to the marketplace. Hey, my license has been unactive for a while and I'm jumping back in. Or you know what? I've been selling homes for a long time, but I really don't communicate much to the marketplace and I need to announce myself. How did you do it?
I honestly just burned all my bridges and was like, I'm a real estate agent and I'm going to be amazing here in Clark County, Washington. I was very consistent with posting videos all the time. I was on my stories every day and I was very active. I did an open house every Saturday and Sunday for that first year. And I got to know the market really well. I feel like a lot of agents who are born and raised in an area, they rest on their laurels and they are like, oh, I was born and raised here. I know everything.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. So I studied the map all the time. I studied the MLS. I went to the neighborhoods. I found out who the developers were. I found out about the parks. I found out what's coming soon. Most agents, they don't do that. And so I gained the knowledge and I had the brand exposure and the marketing with all the video. And when you do the two together, it's like magic.
Yes. Yeah, it's confidence.
Yeah, it's confidence. That's what it is. And people,
Yes.
when you're young and you're confident and good in business, it's undeniable. People like working with you.
I agree.
Yeah.
So back to the beginning of like Instagram, I assume is where, did you go Instagram first or YouTube first?
Instagram.
Okay, so you're on Instagram and it's like a week into real estate. And like, what were the stories about? Like, hey, today I'm sitting at my desk. Like
It was,
what
it
the
was
context?
whatever I was doing, literally anything. And I look back at some of them now because the memories will come up and they're
Yes.
cringy.
Sure.
But I was sharing what I was doing. I was sharing what was
Right.
real.
Right.
I wasn't trying to sugarcoat it too much.
Yeah. Telling the story of getting started.
What
You know
kind
I
of
mean?
stories?
Like, yeah, give us an example.
Cringy or not, I'd love to hear like what were you compelled to share at that point in your
Yeah.
career? Because I think a lot of agents don't know where to start.
Yeah, just like, going out and door knocking or setting up for the open houses or like even, I'm, getting stuff at the grocery store or here's, this new development I saw down the street.
Yeah.
I'd
Who
was
literally
following you
share
at
my
that
day.
time?
Who was following me?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people.
Yeah, but were they
I-
locals or were they like Seattle friends?
Lot of people from growing up for sure. And I tried the strategy of you go on hashtags
Yeah.
for your local area
Yep.
and you just comment on those people's posts. What do they call that strategy again? The
Um,
dollar.
The $1.81 strategy
Yes,
from Gary
that.
Vaynerchuk?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's how I got some local people into my feed.
Yes.
And I actually did transactions with a couple people who I did that.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
So for the person that didn't get that, unpack that strategy one more time, because I think it's still just as relevant
It
today.
really is.
And not as many people do it.
Yeah. So I'd go on hashtags or locations for like Vancouver, Washington, Camas, Washington. And I'd literally just scroll through the most recent posts and comment something. Just what, like, oh, your dog is so cute, or I love that bakery too, something like that. And a lot of times it wouldn't hit. They wouldn't follow back. They wouldn't connect. But sometimes it would.
Yes.
And it just took one or two to make a couple sales and, pay my bills that year.
Right. Did you find you were in that strategy being very specific about the people that you were following, or is it just sort of like, I kind of like her energy, so, like I would
Yeah.
follow that person?
It was more that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's always the more natural way.
I like working with people who are a good fit.
Yes.
It just makes everything flow better. So,
So walk us through the evolution of your content. If the early days, and we're going to get into door knocking and all the other stuff, and you know how much I respect you for that.
Yeah.
Walk us through the evolution of your content. In the beginning, it was cringy. You were trying to figure it out, but you were doing it, so we love it. What was the next step? What was the next step? Did there become a show? Did you have some donkeys? What were the unicorns?
Yeah.
Like, walk us through some of that.
my first content was called Hanging with Hannah.
Yep.
And it was like a weekly show where I would just give real estate tips. And it was more for me to practice and just get
Yes.
exposure. I look back and the tips weren't super good. So I retired that show at some point. And then I went to more vertical, like short firm about like the area or, tips, things that were coming soon. And that got more traction.
Yeah.
And then I finally got on YouTube because of Jason's videos. YouTube is a place that feels a little bit more daunting. It
Why?
feels like, I don't know, it's something Jason's mentioned before. It feels like it's for the professionals. It's the big leagues, you know?
It's could it be that because it's more of a search engine?
Yeah. And I don't
There's
feel
a-
that way anymore,
yeah.
but that's how I felt starting.
Because I think a lot of people, I'll comment on that. A lot of folks, I think, have a fear of getting on video in front of their existing networks on
Yeah.
social media. And I would say that you should seriously look at YouTube because you're building an audience who's searching for your content.
Yes.
And so you can literally speak it and the audience will show up based upon the messaging you put out.
Yes.
I'm a massive believer in the power of YouTube right now.
Big time.
Anyways, please continue.
So stories and reels and kind of anything goes. Then you create a show called Hanging with Hannah. What was next?
I got on YouTube, and YouTube is where I started making more long form content that was very educational. I do a lot of like hard research for those videos. I dig into the county records and I pull up data and statistics and history, and it really attracts those STEM based clients
Yes.
who are, I like working with them, and they
Yeah.
usually have good budgets, and they, purchase or sell in the areas I want to work in. And so that was really the next iteration of my videos, and I love that. That's still what I'm doing today.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So if you were looking back and you said, knowing what I know now, what would you have done differently?
I probably would have gotten on YouTube sooner, and then this isn't video related, but I would have hired sooner.
In what respect?
Just
what
getting
roles?
help with a TC and an assistant. I should have got them sooner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we talk about some other stuff, you and I are talking off camera about, I think it was maybe like November or December. I'm looking at Ruby, my chief of staff. Shannon Gillette was at my apartment. We were doing this mastermind.
Yeah.
Her and I and my wife are sitting there petting my dog, sitting on the ground. And Shannon's like a total love bug, right?
Yeah.
And the entire time her phone is just going zzz, 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 zzz. And she, you can kind of see her like, and I'm like, you created that.
Yeah.
Right? You've created such a persona in the marketplace. And Hannah, kudos to you because you've done the same. Your phone is going off all the time with people saying, I want to work with Hannah.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now about what you've created, is there an adjustment you would have made to build maybe a different type of brand? Or do they have to get to you?
I have to draft this listing today. It's already late.
I still have to create that post for the open house.
I have to prep for this call.
I need to figure out how to negotiate this deal effectively.
I'm still behind on emails.
I'm falling behind on my phone.
I still have to set up that open house.
I still have to upload these new
I need to
photos.
set my
I need
mind
to send out the
prepare
full
a
caption
marketing
and
analysis
songs.
for that seller.
I'm still working on that. I'm going to need some help in the future with like other agents. I can't do it all myself forever.
Yeah.
But when consumers, potential buyers and sellers, when they really trust you, they also trust those potential team members. And as long as I hire right, it's going to be great. The two ladies that work for me now, they're amazing. And I make sure to give them that credit. And when you give them that credit in front of your clients, they feel confident about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So go back to, and then you jump in because I'm like so curious and I just want to ask a million questions.
I have a million too.
I'm not saying it's a mistake, but I think a lot of people leave a lot of money on the table because they become very myopic.
Yeah.
And I'm only working my database. I'm only doing referrals. I'm only doing social. I'm only doing YouTube. I'm only doing X. I'm only doing expireds. And my response is, why don't you just serve as many clients as you can and have multiple modalities of communication? So it warmed my heart when you said, I do all this social, but half my business comes from door knocking and open houses. But you're Hannah and you're everywhere. And oh my God, like I see you on Instagram.
That's what fuels it.
Yes. So tell me why you do it.
Because you can't have a one pillar business. Like I think of the TikTok stuff going on right now.
Right.
The folks who
you mean the
got
formerly known as
100%
TikTok, gone, turned off as of today.
You know, the folks who were getting 90% of their business there, what are they doing right now?
Exactly.
And that's why I'm never going to put all my eggs in one basket. And when you do
Smart.
old and new together, you beat the market.
Yes.
People who just work by referral, when the market's down, they're down.
Yes.
When the market's super up, they're up. But like, I'm always doing solid.
Yes.
So
that really is the key. Go ahead.
I think something that resonated with me earlier that she said, like, Hannah, I think the fact that you were willing to become a student of the market. You said for the YouTube channel, it takes a lot of effort to prep those shows. But you said even before that, when you were a brand new agent, you were out there doing the grit work of going to caravans, going to previews, doing open houses, learning your marketplace, engaging in local businesses, feeds on social media, and doing all that grunt work. And I would make the argument that because you have that knowledge, I think a lot of people say, I want to do video, but what do I make my videos about? And if you're asking the question, what do I make my videos about? I would make the argument you haven't done the work of determining what you have to share. But I think because you've done the work of determining what you have to share and what's relevant for your audience, they see the natural appeal and benefit of working with somebody like you. Because I watch your videos.
Thank you.
You are very well, like every time I show one of your videos, I'm like, look how prepared she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's, I talk about, continue.
I was just going to say, there's such a difference between making videos that just market you as a person and are funny and relatable versus making videos that actually show that you are a practitioner of your work.
That's right.
There you go.
And I want people to hire me because I'm good at what I do, not just because they know me.
That's
Like
right.
I want them to feel so confident about it. And because I do those together, like I have this momentum that's unstoppable, and no one else is really doing that in my market.
See, I
Yes.
love that, and I'm thinking about our great client. We're in his town right now, Ken Pozek,
Yes.
here in Orlando.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ken's
And
amazing.
he has done a very similar practice. He's
Yep.
he's done remarkably well. And you talked about like being able to transfer and delegate
Mm-hmm.
to agents. And I look at what Ken has done in terms of creating trust for his brand.
Yes.
And now he's got 40 plus agents on
Yes.
the team, and they're all remarkable, just slaying in the marketplace.
Yep.
I just think what you're doing is not only, to your point, attracting an audience who wants to work with you because they just see the benefit of it, but you're also creating a brand that
Yes.
is truly, it's not going to be a fad brand. It's not going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of folks who have success on Instagram temporarily or TikTok or YouTube temporarily, but what you're doing is just got a longevity to it, which I
Yes.
massively applaud.
Yeah.
So what's
you.
new? What's next for 25?
2025, we are shooting for a higher average sales price and higher profitability,
Nice.
which is what matters.
Yeah.
And going to bring on a couple more people, hopefully an agent and a videographer on staff.
Good for you.
for you.
Good
Yeah.
for you. So give us the total makeup of the team then. Fully baked with a couple more salespeople and a videographer.
So
What are
right
all
now
the
I
roles
have
you
a
have?
full-time assistant and a transaction coordinator.
Good.
And then hoping to bring on a partner agent to work with me on the business, and then a full-time videographer.
Okay.
So that'll be 4 people plus myself.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So earlier when you said you chose real estate because you really felt like there would be a sort of a ceiling that you could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Sitting here at 24, let's go 10 year. When's your birthday, by the way?
March 1st.
Oh, my little sister too, Michelle. That's awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
25 soon. I'm still
All
24 though
right.
today.
Almost a quarter century. Congrats. Coming
Thank
right
you.
up.
Thank you.
So let's play a game. It's 10 years out and you're 35.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself?
That is a hard question. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that recently. I still don't know 100%, but I think I'll probably still have my real estate business. I'll just be less involved in the day-to-day selling aspect and more of a visionary. I love building, construction, development, so I feel like I have something to give the world
Yes.
in that department.
Yes.
We'll see.
All right. How effective are you as a salesperson?
I'm effective.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
I like it.
What
I
what
like
is
doing
the
sales.
objection that you get excited when you get it? Because you got like 16 ways to handle it.
I don't even know. I don't get that many objections.
Oh.
My clients like working with me.
Yes.
They just say yes, 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 and we go.
Can
we do
I
it.
have a question?
But first, so Hannah, wow, that fee seems large for. I mean, I'd heard that fees were adjusting, and I was under the impression that they're. I mean, I love what you're doing. I love everything about you,
Yeah.
but I was just told that the fees were going lower, and that seems like the same or higher.
Yeah, real estate fees are negotiable, and this is just the fee that we've set in order to have a high level of professionalism and pay our staff well and give you a great experience. So, if it's not right for you, if this isn't a good fit, I'm happy to refer you to someone else.
Have you said that to people?
Yeah,
And how do they respond?
a lot of times they still end up working with me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just because they know that I can deliver the results that they want.
Right. Have you screwed up on a transaction yet?
Not majorly.
Not majorly.
These are
That's-
knock on wood.
yes. Yes. Yeah.
Not,
Hold on.
not
Let me check
something
my
that
phone.
wasn't fixable.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we all have little mess ups here and there. So
1,000, and I'm not
We're
implying
human.
anything other than
Yeah.
that's how we learn, right?
Yeah.
So if you looked back over your storied career, what would you say would be the 3 or 4 most important things if someone was listening right now and they were like, hey, I'm 5 years in the business, I'm 15 years in the business, and I'm looking at Hannah and I'm like somewhere between inspired and, dare I say, bitch, like, what? You've
Yeah.
done what? They're like right now on Zillow going, damn, and she's got the reviews and she's got the
Right.
she's got the sales, like it's undeniable. If you were to say to somebody, boy, my advice not knowing you would be these 3 things, what would those 3 things be?
the first is that you have to be a practitioner of your work. You have to know what you're selling, and you have to do it better than anyone else. So make sure you study up. Be confident. Confidence comes across to people, and if you're not confident, people won't want to work with you.
Yes.
and just be decisive. When I first started my first year, I knew I was going to reach my goal. I like told myself, congratulations, like I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And then I just had to figure out a way to get there.
Yes. Okay. So what's number 3?
I thought that was 3.
Okay. I
Be
thought
decisive was number 3, right?
I thought it blended into number 2. I apologize.
Okay, no worries.
So how do you prepare? If I'm listening to this and I'm like, Hannah, I've been doing this forever. I'm 35 years in the what do you mean? Like, how do you prepare when you're creating content or understanding the market? I know the market. Like, what's your process?
I just dig in, and when I'm making videos, I make a script of all the things I want to talk about, and I go find the data, or I find the assets, the photos. I get on the county website.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just set some time aside on my calendar and do the work.
Yes. What do you think?
I think she's very task oriented. I think it's
Yes.
a superpower of hers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, was there ever a time where you weren't confident in what you were doing? Or what I'm guessing is you were probably like, I'm new and I'm going to make sure that I shorten this learning curve as fast as possible by doing X, Y, and Z to get myself to this next level. Was there a time where you were lacking in confidence, and what did you do about it?
Definitely the first year is hard because, like, I hadn't owned any houses or really seen any, and no one trains you.
Yes.
Really, in real estate, your broker
Yes.
doesn't really train you. You have to train yourself. And so I played fake it till I make it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just figured it out as I went. And if I made a mistake, I made sure to make it right.
That's good. So you were a straight DNF student?
Oh, yeah, totally. No, straight A's.
I was
Yes.
High achiever.
I was like, is that
Yes,
sarcasm?
I had a
really
feeling.
thick
I
sarcasm.
had a feeling. So do you think that translated? You think it translated nicely?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went to college. What did you study?
Finance.
Finance. That certainly helped. Why finance?
I've always liked numbers. Truth be told, I really didn't learn a lot about finance. I haven't really retained that stuff, but
But it certainly helps going in this business, right?
I wanted a business degree,
Yeah.
so I just kind of chose one, and it's like,
And then
okay.
a concentration in finance. Yeah.
Do you know there's an old joke about people that go into real estate that most of them never got into the business because they love math, right? And the joke is like most people don't know math except for what's 2.97% of $494,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, bang, right? They know that
Yeah.
number instantly. So your 3 piece of advice, 3 was decisive, 2 was confidence, and 1 was like preparation.
Yeah. Know your
How
market.
do you generate confidence? There's a lot of people right now that, here we are, we're still kind of in the first stage of the new year, and the last couple of years have been rough for a lot of people.
They have.
And, we've
Challenging.
watched a lot of people excel, but we've watched, if you look at 1.5 million agents in the US and another 185,000 in Canada and another, 3 million agents throughout Europe, we've watched a lot of people go through sort of the post-pandemic hardship. You did nothing but accelerate, but having empathy for the person that maybe took some bumps and bruises during that time, if they had to turn it around, what would you say are like 2 things from a marketing or door knocking or open houses or whatever it may be, what would you say would be like the go-to turnaround? Like if I moved you to another market, your boyfriend calls you and says, hey, I just got a job transfer.
Yeah.
We're now going to Salem, Oregon, someplace else, and you got to start over. Do you run the same play or you use something different?
Meet Revy, your intelligent AI partner. Here to simplify your day, streamline your tasks, and elevate your productivity. With Revy, you can do it all. Revy is not just a tool, but a partner. Let's take a peek. With Revy's roleplay feature, you're in control. Choose the scenario: buyer, seller, agent, or recruiter, and practice real-life conversations to sharpen your skills and build confidence. Automation is at your fingertips. From crafting emails to managing tasks, let the AI handle the busy work so you can focus on closing deals. You can also stay ahead of the market with real-time news updates. RevE delivers the latest trends and insights, keeping you informed and ready to make smarter decisions. RevE doesn't just deliver news, it transforms it. Convert updates into emails, blog posts, or social media content, and explore follow-up questions for deeper insights. The possibilities are endless with RevE. And with ever-growing features, we can't wait to show you what's next.
I would definitely go back to open houses every single weekend. That's a great way to get into momentum and literally just talk to people, see houses.
Yes.
Like see what the market's like. I did 2 every weekend when I
Yes.
first started.
Yes.
Even if people say open houses don't work in my market, like they get you into momentum.
Yes.
So I'd be doing open houses, and then
But 2 a weekend is the key.
Yeah.
1 a month doesn't get you into
no,
momentum.
1 a month doesn't
Yeah.
do anything. And you know, that first year, I only got a handful of deals from the open houses. But if I had just skipped that one open house where that person came in,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
Bingo.
So I had to be doing it every Saturday and Sunday.
So the gas station's got to be open every weekend, if
Yeah.
not every day, versus like once a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would number 2 be?
Number 2 would be, it's like what I did, just be a practitioner of your work. Go study everything. Go
Yes.
drive around. Like,
Yes.
just know what you're selling. So many agents, they just don't know.
Okay. I'm going to ask her 7,000 more questions. You going to jump in here?
Okay, so let's jump in. Yeah.
Sorry, my curiosity is just kicking in.
All right,
Yeah.
so I want to go back to YouTube for a little bit.
Yes,
So what
please.
percentage of your business is coming off of YouTube? And I guess we can add Instagram into the mix.
I'd say probably 50%.
Okay, and when you started your YouTube channel, which is, by the way, incredible, and you did
Yes.
59 sales last year. Okay, so we're talking 30 plus or 30-ish transactions. What are you seeing early 2025? Is it trending nicely for you?
Yeah. No, and the way YouTube works is you gain momentum, you get more videos, you get more subscribers, more people watch them.
How often are you posting videos on YouTube?
Once a week.
And how long are the videos roughly?
7 to 12 minutes is kind of the average. That's
And
like
why
the
do you
sweet
choose
spot.
that target?
It's just what people can sit down and watch and get through, and it's just what's performed best.
Do
on
you,
analytics.
study, do you study the fall off times and how long do they watch?
Yeah, I do. I don't like meditate over it too much because
No,
the
me
most
neither.
important thing is just getting the content out.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the consistency. I never miss. I've missed like 1 or 2 uploads in 3 years, and I can just stick to once a week. Like I could just do that forever. I got 3 months of videos loaded up in there. Like we're just ready to go.
Already ready to rock.
Yeah.
What's your sort of style, or is there a specific format you follow for the video? Like I do this first, and then it goes to this, and then we transition to that.
So I do a hook for
Yeah.
like 5 to 10 seconds, and then I do the channel intro, which
Yeah.
is like
The little theme song. Thing.
Yep, theme song. And then I'll do like another intro to the video. Hey, welcome
vamp.
back to the channel. And then I get into the content, and then I close, with
How do you close?
a call to action.
Like what?
Text, email, or DM us. And Dubyne Realty Group would be happy to serve you.
Okay.
You said that really fast, like you've said it a few times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give us an example of a hook. What have you found to be one of the most effective hooks to keep people engaged so they understand what it is I'm watching and why I should care?
So you want to say it really fast, like, these are the top 5 reasons why people are moving away from Vancouver, Washington.
Did you see how she just went on YouTube mode right there?
She did.
Hector, my producer, was
She, like,
like,
looked at
because
the
she went like
camera.
this, like,
I had
these are the
to-
top 5.
I had to do it for the
Yes.
camera,
Show
yeah.
it to the camera.
And so you
Yes.
want to say it with like
Some authority.
oomph, and you
Right.
just want to be like, these are the top 5 reasons why people are.
Unless you're Caitlin.
So,
Yeah, but I'm not. So
No, it's
Yeah.
not your jam.
so when I watch your videos, one of the efficiency gains that I think stands out that a lot of people could probably adopt is you are not out in the field filming these videos. You're generally in your own setting in your office or studio.
Yeah.
You have it may be a nice camera, but it could just be a webcam that's pointed at you.
It's not that nice, yeah.
It's not a glorious set per se. And I think a lot of people get intimidated by YouTube. You mentioned being intimidated by it before yourself. And they think, well, it's got to be, DSLR cameras, and I got to be in the field, the editing is going to be time intensive and cumbersome. Yours involves you talking directly to the camera, which leads to a few questions. One, are you doing a teleprompter, or you're just doing it? How many takes do you do?
I just run it all the way through, and like my laptop is down at the table that you can't see, and so I'll look in between, like, I want to talk about this,
And then you'll
what do I
cut
want to talk
those
about
little-
next? Yeah, the editor
Yeah.
cuts it out.
Yep.
And I'd say 50% of my videos are just me sitting on the couch in my office.
Yep.
It's easy. I can get a lot of information out. We do videos in the field, but less of them.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix.
Yeah.
I notice all your stuff on Instagram. That's probably where I watch you the most. And that
Yeah.
seems to be always in the field.
Yeah, I try to share with people what I'm doing during
Yeah.
my day
Yeah.
and give them like a real life glance.
So
Yes.
working
Be
in
relatable.
public.
So
Yeah.
your regular YouTube show is like a news show, right? Essentially bringing you news about what's going on in the marketplace,
Yeah.
historical facts, new construction,
Yep.
what's going on.
Yep.
When you're uploading the video, is there anything specific you're doing from an SEO standpoint
Yeah.
to try and get watched? Do you email it to your database to get more traction? A lot of people create content and they struggle. They're like, I'm not getting any views. And then I'm like, well, when you upload it, what do you do? And once you have it produced, what do you do? They're like, well, it's on
Yeah.
YouTube. I'm like, I emailed the Tom Ferry Show to like 300,000 people
Yeah.
a week, every week for like the first 5 years. Like, how did you get so many views? I'm like, I emailed it to 300,000 people every week, and not everybody watched, but enough did. So what do you do to get the views?
We definitely focus on SEO. That's where the majority of the views come from.
Yeah.
Once you get the SEO and once you're ranked high,
got it.
you're kind of on the throne.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so we still focus on, the nitty gritty stuff, but not as much as we used to, because I'm already at the top. And then we do email it out every week on
Yeah.
its own email. That's something I introduced this year, and it's been great.
Do you email it out when it's published, or do you wait a bit?
We wait a couple days.
Okay, because
Usually.
I've been hearing a lot of others do that too. Like,
Yeah.
Like Kim was talking about that too, Kim Pozek, where he's not going to publish a link to a YouTube video until he's given YouTube sufficient time to figure it out for itself.
Yeah.
In terms of how to go to fetch those views and how to rank that video, he doesn't want to give it an external source of traffic that throws it off the scent of how do I rank in the search results.
Smart.
So I think that's super smart.
I funnel all my YouTube viewers into my email subscription list. So most of those people, they are
It's all the same people
same
anyway.
group anyway, so it's not a big deal. We also get all of our videos on like a monthly content recap. That was an
Good.
idea from you. I do
Smart.
that.
Yeah.
And then I do a weekly newsletter with local events, open houses, listings, and then our video of the week goes at the top. So it sees the emails multiple times.
That's good.
Have you
That's
dabbled
good.
with any AI to streamline?
I'm
on
not
videos?
great at AI. Like we use ChatGPT, but I know I could use it more.
Reason I'm asking, and I'm just one YouTuber
Because
I
the
wanna-
professor is about to start talking.
Yeah,
now.
it's gonna school
You told me
here.
to.
Yeah,
So there are some other channels. Malcolm Lawson, do you follow his channel by chance?
I do. Yeah,
He does a nice job on YouTube. So he's been using HeyGen, where he's been creating like scripted avatars of himself talking, and it's one of the first examples of somebody on YouTube that I've seen actually giving informative videos that are completely AI generated.
And they
so
look
he
good?
created a secondary channel. I think he's going to get momentum. I think if it's good enough and it answers the right questions, if you really understand your niche in terms of who am I making content for, what questions am I answering for them,
Yeah.
I think it can perform. And the reason I bring it up is because I find there's different types of YouTubers. There are some YouTubers who, in real estate, they love to go see properties. They want to show homes. That's sort of their element. Like I think about like a Dwayne Carpenter. He's really great in the house talking about the property. It's what he does best. The challenge with that is you got to have the listings. You got to have the time to go film the videos. So when I look at your strategy, where it's tips and advice, you just have to put yourself in the work and the habit of getting the information. You can just scale so fast. I'm wondering, are you thinking about how AI can scale it? Or are you thinking about having more than one channel and going super, super niche on certain topics?
I think I'd rather go the more than one channel route. I do need to dive into the AI more.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about banging out a whole bunch of videos in the office. Like I can do 3 or 4, maybe even 5 in like an hour and a half. And that gives me content for like a month.
Because you can't
do that with
you
a
can't do
tour.
that with one channel because you really need to give it the breathing room between the uploads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what Ken Posick does with his local news thing. Like I would love to do that someday.
Yeah.
It would
Yes.
just be phenomenal.
Yeah.
2025 someday.
We'll see. We'll see.
Get that videographer first.
Okay,
Get
working
that
on
editor.
it. Yeah.
All right. So Hannah, as we get near wrapping this up, I just want to say from the entire ecosystem,
Yeah.
one of the things that just warms my heart is watching like a 45-year-old, a 65-year-old, a 72-year-old start. But what really inspires me is when I see a 22, a 23, a 25, because it just makes me think like the future of real estate and housing and buyers and sellers is in really good hands.
Yeah.
So I'm just really proud of you. So
Thank you.
from myself and the entire community,
Thank you. It's been a fun journey.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So, hey, make sure you follow Hannah on Instagram and check out her YouTube channel. Go to her Zillow page. You'll see all the numbers. It's kind of bananas. So we're super proud of you. We're going to have a great next couple of days. Thank you for watching me at my grandmother's condo in...
This is your grandmother's beach condo in Orlando, which doesn't actually have a beach.
Yes.
So whatever.
Exactly. But hey, make sure you follow this gal. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next show. Take care.